proper on a Saturday day. Saturday? Sure, on a Saturday. Let's go over to the spot to go do some work. First, let's start the party early. There we go. Rockstar energy drink. Alright. Then we can go see what we got. We got snacks to keep me going. Long enough over to get some lunch before I need to get some lunch. Surprisingly, got out of that parking lot pretty well. Normally, it's a little bit of a nightmare. People don't know how to drive in parking lots. About 280 air conditioning going on, two windows down, 80 miles an hour. Yeah, not ready to do 80 miles an hour in the city. I'm not interested in that. Just nice to get things done. And it's a nice day out. For a long weekend, it's actually a little crazy. Surprisingly, this is kind of rare. The good weather on the long weekend. That combo is very few and far between. And I'm not wearing my headset, so sound is going to be less than ideal. But when I get to the spot, we'll see how well the Bluetooth headsets connect without too much hassle. Or I can try it now. I'm at a stoplight. And I can't open a zipper on this in one hand, not easily anyways. And in there. Alright. There you go. Let's see how well they connect. Sometimes it might not connect. like the connection reconnection, or sometimes these have been a little finicky when it connects. How's it gonna sound? Am I not muted? Really? That's joy of tech. Now we can hear you. Oh, okay, so it's working. All right, now let's see if I can go back, because this is a better mic. I hear that one, and this one doesn't seem to want to connect. Now, these guys, this is Belkin wireless headset. For the most part, they've been fine, but sometimes they get a little weird. So let's see if you can hear me now. And it's like this one doesn't want to connect. Wonderful. This is not a professional operation. Okay, there. Okay, got the blue light syncing. Just trying to see if this one wants to connect or not. You know what? I'll do a manual disconnect of the headsets. Okay. Now it should be working okay because I got the connection things on both sides. So one more time, and I appreciate everybody's patience on this one. Can you guys hear me okay? Of course, I gotta wait for the delay. Then we can get into that. But all right, good. Yay, working again. Yeah. Sometimes shit just happens. On a bit of an angle, so hang on. All right. Get the jacket off because it's warm and humid and all kinds of fun here today. Okay. Make sure my keys are with me. And we get to have a little bit of fun. All right. New tool. I won't have people try to guess. I mean, like a short you can guess, but I will see if I can block something this out. And I'm not gonna be. Well, actually, you know what? I'll just take it out of the package. Doesn't really need to be a fancy unboxing video. But anyone got to guess what this is? What kind of tool specifically this is for? Oh, the delay is just slow on this. These are ferrules or ferrules. I don't really know. They look like little bullet type connectors. So they go on the end of wires, crimp them on. So when you're have a wire that goes into something and you just screw it down, normally you would strip a wire, twist it, and stick it in a socket, and then you would use a screw to tighten it down. That works, but it's less than ideal because then you're spreading apart the copper wires. So this is a crimper, a ferrule wire ferrule or ferrule crimp tool. Uh, Basically, it's for making wire connections stronger and more consistent. That's what I need when you're doing something with power. You definitely want the strong connection. So it's kind of cool. It's got that little centerpiece that crimps on. And it's a ratcheting one. So do that. Now you can tighten that a little bit more, and then you just loosen up. So I gotta make a few of these connections at the back for the power system. So that's what it's for. Now let's see how much of a mess we can get into doing that. Before that, but first, a word from our sponsors. No, I don't have any sponsors. If anybody wants to sponsor the channel, by all means, we can have a chat. But I want to take a battery. Oops, wrong bag. I want to put a battery under the phone so that doesn't die on me. or get too low. I do need to replace the battery in this phone. Been debating on upgrading. Like as much as cool as it would be nice. Like this is an iPhone 12 Pro. It's just everything I need. I don't need anything big fancy. I don't actually need the latest and greatest, although it's kind of cool to have. No doubt about it there. But for my basic needs and this thing, like I said, although I joke that this is not a professional operations, I don't need iPhone 20 and all the little lights and whatnot. A better stand setup would be nice. Probably the only thing I would like to have, but we'll get there. That's a secondary. This is just a little bit of fun. Okay, battery, connector. Then we'll go to the back and I'll have to bring my snacks. Oops. Keys. Keys are important, just in case it locked on me. No, unlocked. Good. All right, let's drop the phone, shall we? Light breeze. Hopefully not too strong. Doesn't pick up because I got a pretty neat stand, but it's very light, and even the weight of the phone can knock over the stand if it's on a bad angle. Set you up and get there for now. My fancy stand. $5 at the dollar store. Ultimately, again, I don't really care. It does the job. Surprisingly, it does it pretty well. Except for being just lightweight. That's the one that goes up and down. Except for it being lightweight, it does everything I need it to be. As long as I put some weight on the stand part of the bottom. You see, if I let this go, oh, it's actually going to stay, but it won't matter because it can't stay on here because I got to move the mattress around to get at the power. Yeah, there's the wind. You can probably tell it's just moving just slightly, so I'll hold on to this. Put the tool off to the side. Good place to put the camera. All right. If you haven't been here before, this is my bed platform. Built the platform, sewed the cover, bought the material. That's the extra section that goes either ahead if I'm staying completely inside, or it sits back here if I'm leaving the back open and gives me 6 feet of bed. As a matter of fact, I have a tent that does go around the whole back of this, so I can leave this open. Presumably, I don't need to close it for bad rain or whatnot. But super comfy, and right now this is lounge mode, where it sits on a slight angle, and I can sit there. Now, right now, I haven't got anything to have the cushion stick to the section, so I just got a cheapy strap holding it on for now. Does the job. That's all that really matters. At some point, maybe I'll put some Velcro on it. Yeah, we'll see. But what I need to get at, set this so that the weight is on the stand. My power setup is all here. And these are where all the wires are. So, move some stuff around to get at this. I do have to grab the electronics kit. All my wiring and other crimping tools are all there. Now, I have to move that from the sitting position. So I gotta change some stuff around. So, here, let's just do this. Oh, I need the other one. Twist this a little bit. There you go. You can watch me fiddle with the stuff up front. This is why I got the headset for the microphone, so I can go anywhere and talk. I did. I could be the other side first. Now I just obviously don't want this floating around, so I've got a strap just to hold it down, and nothing fancy, just enough to stop it from floating around the back while I'm driving. Anyway, that's out of the way. Stick to the other side. Less hassle. And the mattress. Bring it up. Out of the way. There we go. And don't hit me. I got it from the back actually. Alright. That out of the way. That out of the way. There we go. So let's see what you can see here. That's the power setup. So two 50 amp hour lithium batteries. This is my DC to DC charger. There's an inverter, 120 volt inverter. That's 750 watts. Black box at the back is the fuse relay box. These are the two bus bars. I have a fan for pulling air in. You can see the holes in the back for letting air out. And this is my temperature controller, which, yeah. So I also have the heating pads. So the wintertime, because this is going to be like a permanent installation for here. So the temperature controller, once it gets down to the temperature sensor, which is this wire here that runs along behind, if it gets below whatever temperature I set it at, it would then turn these on. So these become self-heating batteries, so they don't freeze. So I don't know, you get down to like 5 degrees, just a little bit above freezing, and then it'll just run it. So it keeps these at a certain temperature, whatever I set it as. Now, one might think that it would use up too much power, but it's not a lot of power. Like these are very low wattage, just enough to keep it from freezing. That's all it needs to be. Doesn't have to heat it up, doesn't have to warm it so that it's tight and toasty. It just has to keep it above freezing, and then the battery is fine. Then between the DC to DC charger, which will be charged off the vehicle, and I'll be running a cable for that. I also have here. This is my solar charge controller, and the solar panels. I have some portable, foldable solar panel up above, not on the vehicle. They're in storage, cargo. And then I plug the solar panels into here, and that will charge the battery as well. And then, of course, I got the usual, 120 volt ones I can plug into here. Just a couple of clamps, and then I can charge them off of 120 source if I'm at a powered website or somebody's house or whatever. That's a basic setup. There's one of the voltage monitors, not really a battery level. It's a voltage level because lithium's discharged differently than regular batteries. Regular batteries just get slowly and slowly and slowly dropping in their voltage. Not so much for lithium. Lithium will pretty much stay high until say 80 to 92%. Then they will drop down. So the voltage monitor is a very basic tool that's useful, but it's not something you can rely on. They'll still stay up in that 13 volt range, and then suddenly drop 10, 12, 12, 11, 10, and then the batteries are out. I have a fan to blow air around, but this type of connector kind of sucks. It doesn't stay in very well. Let me back up a bit. So, fan plugs into this 12 volt port. Now, that 12 volt port only works while the computer goes on. Somewhat limiting, but then again, I never leave this fan on. So, I have it circulating all the time, keeps airflow. There's a little hack I can make and make that accessible 100% of the time, but then I have to remember to turn the fan off. So, why bother?
not that important. Cell phone booster, so that works really well. So when I'm in areas where the cell phone signal is weak, I boost it up. Very notable too. So that came very, very handy. Amazon for $200 Canadian. Totally worth it. Figure out I'll throw the money at it because why not? If it doesn't work, I just return it. But it worked really well, so kept it. Bought that last fall. All right, now where to start, eh? These are the cables that came with the inverter, so I can just clip them on. Ultimately, they're going to go 1-to-1 to each of these bus bars. So obviously negative, positive. Caps. So you got your 4 connectors, 4 posts. The batteries will go directly to these. This will go directly to these. The fuse relay one, some will go directly, some will go to the terminal block I put on the side there. So today what I'm doing is basically trying to set up some of the wires so they look clean and connect cleanly. For example, the one time I want the weight to fall out, it doesn't fall out. That's funny. All right. So for this guy, propane tank out of the way. These are the wires I was using. So I had, you know, why not? I'll get this too. It's just a 12-volt socket running directly to the batteries. So then I would just basically make my own power station. This will plug into there. This will go into the solar panel and would charge up the battery. Straightforward, nothing fancy. Because now things are going to be more hardwired in. This could still be for the solar panel because of the type of plug it has. But, and this is what I mean. So you can see there's 2 screws there, and there's just bare wires going to there. That's where the ferro connectors are going to end of these on the end of these wires, so they get a proper solid connection. And the same for the other ends when they go into here. That's the idea. So let's see what we need to do to make that work. Turn the camera back around so I can kind of see. And who's it? Only Fools in Gaming. Nice. How's it going? Okay, let's see about getting this set up. It looks reasonable. I don't know. I'm not too worried about aesthetics. If you can see me and it works, we're all good. Although it does seem a little foggy. Hey, clean the lens. Hang on. Going to grab the cloth for it. So it doesn't look like it's so hazy. I mean, it's a little better. I look prettier now. Ha. That's going to go up front. Good enough. All right. I should have grabbed the tool while I was there. I didn't bring it. I didn't bring it back with me. The whole point of this video was about the tool. What I do? Forget the damn tool. And on the other side. Like I say, and I'll probably always say, this is not a professional operation. It just is a thing. And now, where have I put in the tool? Took it out of the box, and it is not a button. See? Not a professional operation. Not in the slightest. No, you just buy something and you immediately lose it. Oh, yeah, put it off to the side. All right. Got it. I don't think I've had a live stream where something weird didn't go on or happen or get lost or missing, or I didn't bring with me. I'm missing. I don't know. Always. Sorry. No flat. Little torques. Torques. Flat. Let's take these ones out. Put the ferrule ends. One of these I'll look up maybe how to properly. Now, because this cable, when I got this cable, it's not too bad. I end up, I don't know if you can see, tinning the ends. So they're solid. This really doesn't need it. But because I'm practicing with a new tool, I'm going to do it anyways. It won't hurt it. Let's put it that way. And I put some good plastic on this. Try to tear a hole in the thing. You gotta be kidding me. And there we go. Ever notice that sometimes the packaging is like the worst thing to open? Like those blister packs. You buy something and it's completely sealed and you have to use like scissors to open up the plastic around the thing. And then it's open and I'm definitely not returning it. Well, I mean, you can return it and end up just tossing it out or shipping it off to some secondary resellers or whatever. It's one of those cheapy things that waste a lot of product, but it's cheaper for them to make. Put together, the less packaging they have to do, the better off they feel, because it gives them more money. Every big corporation, their only responsibility is to the shareholders, not the customers. Keep that one in mind. Bring some sacks with me as well while I'm back here. But hey, I digress. Totally not jaded. You there. You there. And let's see what we can do. What? I take the whole wire out, because that will be easier. And there's that one. There we go. It was smart. See, I knew ahead of time. Followed both ends. Now I got 5 bars. Now I'm back. Let's see if it stays more stable now. Stupid tech. This kind of thing doesn't matter how techy you are, you have no control over things outside of your control. Signal connections and whatnot. Dorito time, man. Hopefully we're back. Alright. No, so zero people, but I know that counter can be delayed. I might have lost everybody. I don't know. I'm gonna keep going to see him. It worked. Hey, someone's back. Hey, welcome back. Well, thanks for stopping by. If you're new, I had to drop the connection and connect to my cell phone signal booster. Despite having 4 bars of LTE. Probably 4 bars of LG. I'm using my new ferrule connector. Ferrule. What is it? I will have to definitely look it up. If anybody knows what the proper pronunciation of this, by all means, let me know. This is just kind of neat. New tools are always cool for guys. And
women and or feminine related people, if a guy's buying tools or a male related person buys tools, let them. There we go. Connectors on both ends. Yay. Now, get it back inside of here. Positive one goes in. Positive side. Let's loosen this a little more. Make sure that going in. Oh, that's a good solid connection already. Tighten it up. This would be better if I had soldered it, but I'll live. These are easy to make. God, this is so much better. If only they had connectors that made it easier for doing the other ones too. Crimping everything. This is so much better. So there we go. All connected in. The ferrules are doing their job, which is nice. A lot of people going through here, but you know, nice day. People looking for the sunny places to park. Okay, this is my solar panel connector. So this one goes positive, negative, positive this side. Oh. Just interesting because the connection on this solar charger solar charge controller is a little different. Just how the plug goes into the wire. Holds it in there good. All right. This is progress or reprogress. It worked before. Now we're just redoing it again. I'm hoping that's going in right. Because I've got this tape down there, I can't really see. That means I will probably have to test this out. That one didn't go in as well. Alright, this is the fun part. I mean, you can't really see because it's an awkward angle. It's clear I should have waited to do this one before I semi-permanently attach it to the side here. I think it's not even going in the hole. Which means I'll have to take it off so I can see what I'm doing and hope that the double-sided tape, I can reuse it. I mean, I got more. Not the end of the world, but... Oh, the alien tape, man. Let me tell you, works really, really well. I'm not yanking on this, like a Hulk here, but I just want to make sure it comes off smooth enough without damaging anything. That seems to be. I mean, no, there's a metal plate there, and the metal plate seems to be buckling. Oh. Annoying, but not the end of the world. Okay, yeah, I'll have to do that because the glue is no longer gluing. Fun part of glass is on, off, on, off, on, off. Now I can see where this is going in. Okay. Now that's actually in. Alright, this is the fun part of doing these projects. But if you're going to do something, do it right. Don't half-ass it. Especially when you're dealing with power in your vehicle. That one looks like it's in. You know what? Maybe I will and get the solar panels out. Because the one battery I have used, and I'm currently using it, I can run a test. And these ends are soldered as well, so I'll put the new connectors on this one. This is going well. Not always smooth, and certainly never perfect. But I did learn soldering the ends of the wires is a good idea when you can do it. But I think that will make it for even a stronger connector. Because then when you crimp the end, it has a better surface to crimp onto. So the tool came with the ends, $30 Canadian. You know, nothing fancy, but it does the job very well. He says as I pull it right off. All right, let's try that one again. So the amount of soldering that's on the end is a little too much. I don't think it's allowing the ferrule itself to go on very far. Because there's solder, it's soft. I'm just going to try to crimp it down a little bit. Just mold it some so that the end goes on. A little easier. And so that it seats properly. Again, this is purely extra. Oh, that's better. Much better. Actually goes into it now. Yeah, that was good. Little things you learn. And we learn by doing it. There we go. Yeah, see, I just pulled this one off. This is not under any pressure, so it's not a big deal. But since I knew one was having a problem, I don't know how well you can see. That's a little inconsistent, but it's a little thicker in a couple of spots. So I would just simply mold the solder. Again, it's a soft metal. Make it a little more roundish, so it doesn't stick out as much. I was able to tell. These are so small, I don't know if you'll be able to see it now. Because these ends are hollow. So if more of the end is crushed, that means less of the wire is inside. So these ones were only kind of going, well, that one was only going just a small little bit out of this whole shaft. Yeah, this one feels going in better. And you can actually look down at the inside of the little barrel. They're way too small to show on camera, but you'll get the idea. Put that out of the way. Do some more crushing. It looks nicer. I'm not coming off. See? That's the way to do it. Money for nothing, your checks for free. Let's see who gets that reference. Screwdriver. So one goes to the battery. Let's make sure that that's big enough. Positive to positive. Be positive. This is starting to look like a much more professional operation. Yeah. Can't have that, can we? Now on the plus side, taking this off, I now know which part I actually need. Good, I don't need to do the tape for the whole thing, so I don't have to waste as much. So it's just like the bottom third, and it's just sitting on the plastic panel on the side. I wonder if I should lower this more. I mean, I could put it right beside it. That means I'm not adding anything. This is kind of neat. It has 2 more ports, and I can plug a little light into it. That's something, a little LED light, anything 12 volt. It also has extra solar panel here, and a light if you're using the barrel type connector. Which I have, and even USB ports. So while this is running, got enough solar. If enough solar is hitting the panels, I can run USB things and charge the batteries at the same time. Now this is only, if I remember correctly, a 30 amp charge controller. So nothing big, nothing fancy, but I've only have 100 amp total. And again, you're totally at the whim of the clouds, the weather, right? And in Canada, wintertime, you're definitely not going to get much. On average, too much cloud cover. So now I have to take this off. You know what? I won't redo this, just in case I have to move it. No point mounting it up again once you realize, oh look, I gotta take it off. The funny thing, oh, let's do this. Not bad, just gotta manage wires better here. All right, let's do this. So we got our 12 volt connectors. So let's bar it up to the battery. This is powering the cell phone signal, booster signal. And I've even got a USB-C off of here. So if I really want to, I can still run stuff from here too, through here. These batteries, DC house. These are 2 DC house stuff. And these batteries have been really good for me. I've had them for over a year. And just finally getting them in here. I did a bunch of testing, I'll say offline. I basically created a mini power station. So I used this. So I had 12 volt connectors, I had barrel connectors. It has a USB-C and a barrel connector on here. And then I added the voltage monitor until I understood how these work a little better. But these are still useful. They're cheap. They give you basic information. And that's good enough to start. So when you see they're connected. So now I will plug this guy. I get the other cable. Can go to the other one. So I can charge through here as well as use through here. I'm trying to do this one-handed. Nope. Hang on. I know that's not the most ideal angle, but there we go. So there, plugged in. You see the light on it. And then this will give me indication sleep mode, and that it's actually sending power out to a device. It's showing a little light on the little light bulb, but which is fine. Now I just need is the panels to plug into there, and then it would do the reverse. So getting the panels are going to take a little bit of time because they are above, and I have to unlock it, get out. It's slightly a hassle, but luckily the panels are easy to get once again. Maybe I'll help by. There we go. And yes, close up the barrel terminals, or if you knock this over, most of the stream will just be me picking this up and rambling about how dumb I am. While we're talking about it, how dumb I am. Yeah, that's it. So I have another case that has ring terminals in it. Another case that has heat shrink in it. Another case I won't use as often, but these are fuses and even inline holders for the fuses. Wire strippers. These things are awesome. You just put the wire in there and squeeze, and it pulls off the end of the coating of the wire. And you can adjust the end of the coating by how much you put in, how much this piece here stops the wire from coming in this way. Super handy. It has a crimper. It's still a little too manual. I mean, it works. It does the job. But what I like about this, the new tool, is it's ratcheting. So it ratchets to whatever degree you need to. This goes from 0.25 to 10 millimeters squared. Wire gauge says 23-7. Amount of that's 23 to 7 degrees or to 7. 23 AWG to 7 AWG. I don't know. It does what it needs to do. That's all really matters to me. Oh, that's what keeps turning on. I swear there was. Sorry, I have this little thing. It's little flashlight. Alright, flashlight, mini floodlight. There's a little radio. It's times and an antenna. It's actually pretty useful, not just to stop it from rolling around. And it works really well for a radio. And the on things, even though this would not be the best speaker mode, it actually works really well. Oh, wait, gotta change the mode. Alarm, radio. I think the batteries are shot because it keeps resetting. It's showing 2010, so it has a little clock on it and an alarm. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, it's just got the cheapy batteries in it. I used it once, just to test it out. And that was 2 nights ago. Let's go. This is kind of cool. I didn't really need it, but simple little handy thing. All right. Anyways, let me go and get that solar panel. I have to unlock. I'll leave the camera here because it's above. Like I stand on things. It's no place to really put the camera. And not like it's terribly exciting for me to watch the unlock and get the solar panels out of the carbon carrier. I can do another quick outside tour once everything's kind of all back to normal here. And it's funny, locking is almost redundant. But to get inside of it, we need a ladder to get up at it. And I can get at it, open the side doors and standing on the rock panels. Are locked. Oh, it's a little impossible. Now go down. The interesting is when I sell this vehicle, do I keep cargo or not? All right, so solar panels. These are eco-worthy 100-watt panels, and they do the job. I just have some stuff in between to protect the panels from scratching because it did scratch a little before I decided to keep them protected, but it works just fine. So pouch on the back, we'll get into that in a second. So it has these little legs, so when you stand them up, it has act as a stand. And it's got 2 different angles. So you got here and you got here. So it just kind of depends on the time of day you're at, whether you're using this angle or this angle. And right now, where the sun is, we'll go with this way. And you gotta be careful because they're just like a press fit in there. So they're not really clipped in per se. For now, I'm just gonna set these here. They're not going anywhere just yet. Now the little pouch, Velcro to the back, which is really kind of cool. This has all the cables in it. Cables, adapters. You know, take it,
So this is basically all I'm going to need. I have some other connectors, other types of adapters to use for things and different connections. This should be all I need. So that has a barrel connector. That's the one that goes into here. I could put directly into the controller, which I think I will do anyways. So I got a nice solid connector. Now, connector connection. Now the trick will be, I'm in a lot of shade. How far will this go out? Now, the cable's I don't know, probably about 10 feet long. And it's more than 10 feet to get to any one sunny spot. Well, I have a little bit of sun here, so I'm just gonna do a little bit. This isn't where I'm going to be doing a major thing anyways. This is just mostly testing this setup. You just plug this in, screw on the cover to hold it on there. Right in the mostly shaded area. Best we got. Now, let's go here. Not a professional operation, right? Sorry, the weight I was using, which is the battery. And here we go. Now you can see the solar panel is charging the battery. Hooray! So we know it works. We know it worked before. Let's go back to here. Now, change the mode. You go maximum. Actually, here we go. I'll go back again. We've got the mode where it's doing the maximum voltage into there. 13.3. Again, not the greatest because of where it's sitting in a mostly shaded area. But the fact that it's doing anything at all reasonable is kind of cool. I'm now charging my battery and running my cell phone signal booster. Two the lights off. Three the lights off. Connection. Flip it over. Just make sure they're in all the way. And back. There we go. Charging batteries with the solar connector, solar charge controller, panels, and the vehicle. Well, charging the battery. Right now, it's just hooked up to one battery. Ultimately, the solar charge controller will be hooked up to the bus bars, and then that goes to the batteries. Well, actually, the solar charge controller won't be hooked up to the bus bar. My bad. I mean, they will be hooked up to the DC to DC charger and the solar panel. So this charger is smart enough. It will figure out where things are, what needs to charge, what doesn't. Make sure that, I'm not depleting the battery from the car, because that would suck. So it's low enough. It's only a 20 amp one, so it's not very not terribly powerful. It'll do the job. You get things done. This is a relatively light powered. I mean, I haven't got like 3,000 watts of power here. I got 1,280 between the two. Slightly fudged math will 1,280 watts, 100 watt charger, 12.8 hours. Since we never get that good a sun for that long time, solar is only supplementary. Unless you live in an area, like Arizona, California, where you get sun so much of the time, and you have really big panels. Yeah, it's a major thing. The DC to DC charger. If you are doing the van life nomad thing, and you stay in an area a lot, the DC charger doesn't do you as much. So most of this setup is totally depending on where you are and how you're using it. If you move around a little bit, like Scott on static camper van, good guy to go and watch and subscribe to his channel too. Learned a bunch of stuff from him. Hey Scott, if you ever see this, hi. Hopefully you get to get down to California and see it sometime. And he has both. Actually, no, pardon me. He doesn't have a DC to DC because he sits mostly in one spot. He moves and sits, moves and sits. So he had said himself he doesn't use it as much. So that added cost and complication would be not really worth the returns. Aren't as great. But every set is unique. Every step is unique. So you just got to figure out what works best for you, what you're going to use it for. You'll find a few surprises as you go along the way. So if you subscribe here, next weekend I might have a pretty reasonable big announcement. We'll see. So we're working out something of a deal to do something. If you've watched any of my videos before, I might have mentioned it in there. Now, I have a video, just gotta add some music to it and tweak the video a little bit. So that'll be going up. If I'm lucky enough, maybe later today. And it was, I had this set up, no, the bed platform and the mattress done late fall last year. But we didn't do any winter camping, me and a buddy with his van. So I never actually got to use this. So finally got to use it 2 nights ago. And it was nice. So I took a little medium report on that. And that'll be a video. So that'll be coming out. So keep an eye on the channel. Subscribe, like, share, all the things that you're supposed to be telling people. 13.3 volts going in. She's charging up pretty good. Now, I don't know if I should play around with this or not, but I got the one wire done, and I was happy about that. Probably 2 wires on 2 ends. Well, 3 ends total, really. So the next one that uses that style connector is my thermostat. Pardon me, temperature controller. So I'm going to redo the fan connector. We can do that now. Now the question is, where to put the little screwdriver? Yeah, like I said, totally not a professional operation. Well, not like I'm lacking screwdrivers at all. Alright, whatever. I have another one. You buy certain kits all the time, and it always comes with these. You're never really short. This should be enough. No, oh, nah. Star anyways, but well, the star is too small. Alright. I know this kit, screwdriver kit I need. I don't have the other one here. I don't believe so. Alright, so then I'll have to dig up the other one, which means moving the camera. So we're going to put you over here. And that should stay because it's mostly out of the wind. Mostly. This is a Mastercraft kit. It's got 30 pieces. I've had this for a long, long time. I don't know, 30 years maybe. And I've liked it. It's handy. It uses a handle and you can kind of twist this way. What's also neat is it has a storage compartment. So you can put, if you have to take this
and go somewhere and leave the case somewhere, you can put bits you need into it and store it. I've never used it, and since that is metal, I think this can be used as a bit of a light hammer. Okay, so now I need a star. A little too small. I'll go with this one. Each one should do just fine. Yep. To be honest, I don't even need the handle for this. It's not in there tight. I'll just use. The other one's got a bit of a knurled end on it. Yeah, some grip. So this guy has temperature controller, has a cover on it, which is really nice. So you can protect the wires from getting banged or shorting out. But it's not like this thing's gonna get shorted. Oh, don't drop the little screw. There it is. Little cover, nothing fancy. Now I just realized I will need the little black screwdriver. So again, the same type of where the wires just kind of go in and use a flathead screw to go and to tighten up the wires on it. Now the temperature sensor has a fizzle connector on it, so I don't need to do that. Just need to undo the other one and put ferrules on that one. I really would like to know where that stupid thing went. Roll probably somewhere, and you're gonna find it, eventually in a dumb area, but whatever. Okay, that's just small, so I'll just use one of my other sets. I need something that's small enough to do it. Now, if you can tell, I can't even see. That one's twisted though. Over torqued that one a little bit. Meh. Tools are meant to be used. We're gonna go with, if it's stuck, force it. If it breaks, need it replacing anyways. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Oops. Yeah, I definitely need new glasses no matter what. There we go. Fan is up. These have much smaller wires, and these ends have not been soldered. This is stupid. This little 12-volt fan, computer case fan. Picked up off of Amazon. I don't know, $10 or whatever. Oh, hey, I found the screwdriver. I left it in the kit because I thought it would be a good idea in the kit. But I totally forgot that I did that. I'm not going to leave it in there now. I'm going to put it back where I never had it all the time. Ooh, this is really light wire. I think I can get away with using the smallest ones, which is just for a 22 gauge. Which makes more sense. You know what? No, I don't have. I was going to use heat shrink tubing, but the problem I have is I'm having a hard time trying to fill this guy up, which is really irritating. It's empty, and I don't know why it's not filling up, but nope, I'm going to get into that right now. We'll just get into this guy. Yeah, let's get this on. Good. And this will be another more solid connector. And I'm going to, with this setup, I'm going to leave the fan running all the time. I want fresh air running through here all the time. In the winter or summer, notably in the summertime with the humidity, because you want airflow. Airflow is king. If you have any type of setup, any type of camping, you need airflow in your device. That's not a question. That's not an option. That is mandatory. Even if you're camping for just a couple of days or a week, you're driving around and you're sleeping in your vehicle, as humans, we let out a lot of moisture. A lot. So you need to get rid of that moisture, otherwise you start building up mold, and then you start getting sick, and then suddenly your trip is no longer enjoyable. That sucks. Cooling, and that would be the fan. So let's see. Where's my positive and negative? Oh, I guess it doesn't really matter because it's all going to the same circuit for this guy. All right. Cooling, heating, power. Okay, you are there. Now, this might make a difference in which way the power flows through this. We'll find out. Let's see. Put you in. There we go. Goes around good. Nice. Again, I've got the tape ready for this, but I'm not mounting it yet because I need to make sure I have enough connector. Well, I have not have enough connector to make sure the connector right in this sits in the right position. I should open up one of the silicone heating pads. It has some 3M adhesive on the back of it. And then these will just go into here. That one away. On the heating side, I'll run them both into this end. But I'm going to have to extend these wires, obviously. I extend one of the set of wires, the other one will fit. So I'm just matching out how far this will sit. Yep, and this should be enough to run down into there. The other one, battery's just further. So yeah, either way, a wire's going to need to be expanded because I got the fans on this end, one battery on the other end. Even if I put the temperature controller on the other end, I have to extend the fan. I'm not going to do that. All right. This is a slow process. Put it back and then reading out what the next steps I need to do. Actually, you know what? I could put ferro connectors on one of these right now. Keep using the tool just a little bit more. I'm thinking. That's dangerous, I know. But I don't have it. Okay. Not doing the heat shrink. That's fine. And not the end of the world. Just video. I mean, if it was exposed to the outside world, outside more, where I've got a couple connectors that start outside and come in, then yeah, definitely heat shrink, no ifs or buts. But these are inside. Heat shrink is not as critical. Let's see. That's more the 20 gauge. It kind of feels like a 20 gauge. And crimping the guy in. Nice. The other one. So this will be done and ready. Two ends done. And I just realized that that was less than ideal. I don't think, because I got two cables to run into here. So I got two sets of these silicone pads, and they're low power, so they'll both run into one off one circuit just fine. But that's these are too big to fit in there. That means I have to cut these off. and whatever I extend the wire with, use that to crimp that together, and then crimp that end to go into here. And so I happen to get a little excited. Oh, this takes a lot. So they can be pulled off, but you need some pretty good force to pull that off. There's not going to be that kind of stress on here. Because once these are down, they're not moving anywhere. They're going to be underneath the batteries. All right. And heat shrink. Oh, look at that. See? This is why you do this. Something came off. I'll show you in a second here. And look, I've lost the screwdriver again. Where did you go? Oh, there it is. This is good to do. You learn this stuff, see what works, you play with it, so that you make it better. And don't make mistakes again. So. A needle point thread, apparently. Oh, put it on there. Alright. I happen to note that. Oops, here. The one cable came out. One wire. So that means I'm going to have to strip that a little bit more. Expose it. Double it up so that it has more wire on the inside. So when this crimps down, it's better. Now I have to question this. But this comes off, again, if you pull really hard. I'm going to redo both of them. You use a wire stripper. Let's strip it just a little bit more back. If you do it right, when you're stripping the wire, you keep a little bit on of the wire, so don't make it completely off. And then I used it. Oh, that didn't work so well. I use that bit of sheath to help do the twisting. Except for when the sheath come off and doesn't twist. Okay. Now I'm going to fold the wire, the exposed wire in half, effectively doubling the size of the wire, so that when it goes inside the ferrule connector, more to bite on, more to grab. Soldering would be a good idea. But I don't have a soldering setup. That's something I want to test. But not today. Today's learning about the ferrules. Or the ferrules. Okay. Okay, that felt good going in there. You can feel it pushing inside. The right crimper here. There we go. That's better. See, I probably should have put the heat shrink on, even if I'm going to put heat it later. But I'm just trying to be a little picky at this point. That's all it is. Just me being a little picky. Done is the engine of more. So get this done. And I'm not being foolish about it. That's a little better. That screwdriver. All right, tighten that one up. And then do this one. And it's holding. Yay! All right. we're all back together again now. Plug this guy in. There we go. Let's get the cover on. Put the little screw in there. Yeah, most of my live streams are pretty chill. Nothing fancy here. Nothing crazy. There we go. Good as new. Let us close that. Again, don't want that spilling over there in place because that would just, again, suck. Solar panel still soldering. That's good. I'll clean stuff, put it away. Even if I need it again later, it's at least away out of the way. And not going to be knocked over and dropped off and bits over the damn place. That always sucks. I got this little metal box, little metal toolbox. A while ago, I picked up from a garage sale. And it had top on it. I wondered why for a while until I realized that this can be opened either way. And if you open it upside down, it becomes a real mess. So, then it's all my mobile tools. So these are just small tools for working on computers and small electronics. So I have a lot of little mini Torx bits, small mini knives, tweezers. Oh my god, electric grease. That's what some of it is. I really haven't done a ton of work, but I have learned a lot. The batteries are, well, the battery is charging. Kind of happy with how it all turned out. This project is coming along. Next week I'll be ordering some cables to start hooking up batteries to the bus bars. At some point, I'll have to cut these ends off because these are for the inverter. They usually clip right onto the battery, but they're going to go to the bus bars that are mounted on the floor of the box. So I need to put bigger O-rings on them. So I'll have to find some O-rings and figure out how I'm going to best clip that on. Because you won't be using this on, like, I don't know, what's this? 4-gauge wire, 6. It's pretty thick wire. So I'm not using regular crimpers, probably vice grips. We have another decision to make. These, I said wires, similar to the one I just showed you, and they're pretty heavy duty. Just like to say the gauge on the wire. No, it's a part of a kit. I have an older power station from Motormaster Eliminator. It's a lead acid style, heavy as hell. It has, it has a couple of, it has an inverter built into it. It has a USB port, USB A. It has a 12-volt port on it, but those are for the booster cable, so you can jump start, give a battery a boost from them. I've had to use it a couple of times, but now I have to make a decision. Do I want to keep it? I can easily buy a battery boost pack. Those are small, compact ones, which I've been thinking about because that's smaller. Then I can reuse those cables for something in here. Let me grab another cable. I'll show you one of the things I'm going to be doing. Too big and bulky just to kind of move out anywhere. Okay, I'm going to move this up because. Oh, yep, there we go. Everything comes undone. Okay, let's try this. And grabbing stuff, things get unplugged. Plug back in. So I can put the weight back down onto the controller, onto the thing. There we go. Yeah, here's a little better. So, a DC to DC controller. There's going to be a cable running from it, or probably from maybe on the bus bar, up to the battery, so that I can charge it. And that's basically the size of the cable. This is massively overkill, which is not a bad thing. It won't hurt anything. It won't hurt any of the conversion. It can then hold a lot more heat. This cable's never going to overheat, no matter what. But this is the piece I had to cut off the end to get it out of the vehicle I got it from. This is from a 2005 BMW X5. Their batteries were in the back, and the alternator in the front. So, getting it out of that vehicle, that was a real pain in the ass. I mean, this is a very heavy, over-engineered cable. They never want you to have to replace that in that vehicle. Total time was 3.5 hours to get it out. I think the last hour and a half, probably 2 hours, was just getting it off because it went on the outside of the vehicle, surprisingly, along, and it had these tracks and hugged the body of the car. The problem is when it went over the gas tank. And you can't just drop the gas tank because the gas tank is like a saddle style that's raised in the center where the drive shaft and the exhaust pipe run. So you can't drop the gas tank to get at the tracks that are holding it up there. So even from the inside, lifting up the seat, getting at it from underneath, just yanking down on the plastic tank just so I can get at these tracks. And the best we could do is pull this. This was the rear part that went under the body, and then there was a clip, and then obviously bolted down so that the battery power can be accessed from the inside of the vehicle where the electronics are. We had to cut it off because there was a part where this would not come out, and try to pull from the front because there was much longer section there. I was like, no, so just got a little sawzall, cut that off, pulled it out. I probably have. That's probably like 10 feet. It cost me like $27, but like cable this thick, it's expensive. And this is even just pure aluminum. It'll work. Pure copper is nicer and better, but there's not if BMW can use that for the power that goes from from the alternator on theirs, which would be way more than what I'm using, and they're doing this, yeah, I'm not going to have any problems. I would hate to see the cost for someone who ever needed to replace this cable, because you have to take off all the belly pans, the plastic covers, and move so much out of the way, undo each track that it would in to help mold this to body shapes. Had 2 zip ties, and then the track would just kind of snapped over it. You have to undo the 2 zip ties, and then kind of force that open. There is a little catch mechanism, and then to kind of yank this out. Yeah, I thought, okay, well maybe if I can get that bolt out. And that bolt is usually held on by like an Allen key or something in here that just holds it through. So you have 2 pieces. All right, well, let's try to strip the plastic off it. And I chewed at this thing for probably about 15-20 minutes. And this plastic, I don't know what the hell this plastic is, but it is the strongest freaking plastic ever that I couldn't get enough exposed so that I can see how that is. It was nuts. Of course, there's an awkward angle and all that other fun stuff. So I was like, okay, then we're just cutting it off. Cut it off, cut it out. But yeah, hey Taylor, if you ever see this video, thank you again, because that was just crazy. But hey, not a BMW trained mechanic, but I couldn't imagine, because you'd have to drop the drive shaft, the exhaust pipe, empty the gas tank out, and then drop the gas tank to get at the part that goes over the gas tank and back. Like I got, I don't know, 80-90% of it open within an hour. Open, I got access and got the cable. Getting over that gas tank, that was just nuts. But that's half the fun. You learn things. No more, appreciation for BMW engineering. Like that cable, that's a heavy duty cable. Whoever gets this vehicle is going to have a nice, pretty reasonably well thought out layout. That means the other end of that cable, I'll have to obviously clean it up and get it terminated. And I don't have a connect for that, but I do know someone who does. And run that. Figure out how best to run that. And the Element has a little channel on the inside, so take apart some interior pieces to get at it. No, it will be fine. Wow. It's such a nice day. I don't want to do too much, but still got to do something. I gotta figure out what else I can do here. Because I need some fuses. I could consider stripping some wires and wiring them up. So take off that the little fuse box that's in here. In case, doesn't even anybody there now. I'll go show, hey, there were 2 people there, I'll show you, but here we are. I didn't bring I have a little label printer. And sure I don't. Yeah. Label printer. Alright. So now the trick. I gotta put some ends. Well, I'll just show you. Move these out of the way. So this thing, this was a handy little kit. So I've had to wire up on the inside. So I got 2 fuses, and all these slots are wired. I haven't got the other ones
this is a simple setup, so I don't think I'll ever need any more relays. But so this is going to be enough for now. But I've got these ends, so I need to put spade connectors so that I can connect them to here. But I need to label those for sure. I would just label the numbers, start with like 1 to the bottom, and then figure out if I'm going to start 1 here or 1 here. Probably left to right, that's your normal thing. And then just hook them up that way. These are a little short, but not really. It's only the furthest one that would be, difficult, but not impossible. Worst case scenario, I can move this back if I really have to. But these are just for, again, low amperage, low power. I'm not going to go over 10 amps on this guy, because this is basically going to be hooked up to one side. And this is just for simple things, like, the cell phone signal booster, and the lights are on my rear roof there. And, just simple little power sockets, nothing complex. Temporary type of thing. So that's the trick. Maybe I'll just undo that one and start wiring up some ends to the end. I'll put a heat shrink on it before I put the ends on. And on these, how many of these do I have? I don't have a lot of the spade terminals, but I have a lot of the ring terminals. I think the ring terminals will still work just fine. So I think I'll take off the terminal block and take off the fuse block, wire them together. So then when I put them back, then I know where to put the terminal block. The fuse block is going to stay in the same spot, but the terminal block is the one that can move. All right, we have a bit of a plan. Let's make some other stuff work. Maybe not long enough. Might be long enough. All right. Which one am I using for you? All right. Need to watch a professional at work. Let's see how we can set up the camera. I'm going to take some stuff out of my hands to make this easier. That might help if I had to use the front camera. Let's try that one. Maybe not. Then we'll have to do it this way. You're right in the middle of this stuff here. Move some of this stuff out of the way. Still charging at 13 volts, 13.3. I mean, for being in the shade, those solar panels are still pretty good. I'm still doing a pretty reasonable recharge on this guy. This is the only battery used, so that's the one that's just needs some charging. Okay, let's put you there. Chips out of the way. Yes, that's definitely too long. This is less than ideal. You know what? I'm just going to do it from the front because it's just easier to get at it than this way. And sitting one space too long is harder. What do you get? That piece. Oh, yeah, piece. All right. funny when I was building this and assembling it. There was this box gave me the hardest time. You would think it would be the simplest one. The problem was the screw located here. I had no space to get in, access anything. It was a real pain in the ass to try and get this done. Trying to find a way to make something connect and fit in it was really, really challenging. You can go back and watch that live stream. That was irritating. Even now, it's a little awkward, but at least I can get it done. Now that battery, I'm gonna have to take the battery out of that stupid radio that's beeping. Of course, it happens while I'm down here and not near it, but you know, kill it. There we go. Oh, don't fall. Okay, you go there. And let's get the terminal block off too. You know what?